Hello, everybody. This is Wildman Z here, and there's been a call by some of the hipsters I listen to on what you guys call BookTube. Steve Donahue, Michael K. Vaughan, some other guys. I started listening to these shows during the pandemic because I'm home a lot. I have a family member I take care of, and I watch shows like that while I'm doing dishes and cleaning house and so forth. It's really fun to listen to what people like to read. Uh, I have a lot of books at my house where I'm staying right now. I've read a lot more than I have over the years. Most of the books I read were from libraries. I was in university for quite some time. So I'm going to show you some different books that I have in my place. I'm going to do, I guess, an informal bookshelf tour. I don't have big, towering bookshelves. I have a lot of book carts and books in boxes and so forth. So I'm going to do a bottom shelf right now of, real quick, of a bookshelf I have, a book cart I have here. Randomly, just go over the books real quick. Maybe I'll start making videos again this year. I tried doing it last year, just nobody watched. So maybe I'll improve my delivery and my lighting and so forth over the next year. I'm filming this up in my attic, so probably not great. The first book on this is Kurt Vonnegut. This is Slaughterhouse 5. I actually seen Kurt Vonnegut talk at University of Tennessee before he passed away. He was very old, very witty. He went there. I think he attended school there back in the day, and his brother was a meteorologist. A lot of people didn't know that. I'm an atmospheric chemist, so I've actually encountered his brother in literature. Um, Here's another great book. It's a sci-fi masterpiece, I'd say. Ursula K. Le Guin, The Left Hand of Darkness. She was kind of into transgendered rights like before it was even a thing. This book has a lot to do with gender identity, with a race of amorphous people who can change their gender. Really good sci-fi, and it's not bleeding heart type stuff. It's just really excellent. Her writing is beautiful. I want to read a lot more by her, and I have some of her collections that I'll go over as I do my bookshelves. You'll find I have a hodgepodge of books. They're all oriented differently. This is Lemony Snickets. Again, this is out of order. Young adult child book. I really like Lemony Snickets. Somebody gave it to me and loved the movie. They said, "Hey, read some of these books." I have a couple of these guys laying around here. Here's another Lemony Snickets. I'm not sure which one it is. It's the Bad Beginning, a series of unfortunate events. I guess that's the formal name of it. Really cool stuff. You'll find textbooks and stuff in here, and we'll just this Roget's thesaurus. We don't have to go over that. We all know what that is. Let's see what this is here. Oh, this is a great one. Wuthering Heights. Fantastic book. Gothic, grim, uh, set in the moors. Fantastic classic. Everybody should read that book somewhere in their life. I'm going to read it again. Here's a book I really like. Shadow Country, Peter Mathiason. He's an author I discovered pretty much in the last year or two. I've heard about him. I'm on Long Island making this. He lived down the road in Sagaponack, eastern Long Island. I'm in central Long Island, really. This is three books built into one. I think he rewrote them, and it's Southern Gothic, historical fiction type of thing, and he's a master. I've read a work of fiction by him, and this is fiction, and the other work is nonfiction. The Snow Leopard. I love this guy's style of writing. It's very nuanced sentences, beautiful storytelling, great narrative voice. Want to read everything he ever wrote. I passed away a couple of years ago, unfortunately. Here's one of the Game of Thrones book. This is Sword of Storms. I think this is the second or third book in the series. G.R.R. Martin. I wish he would get off his butt and get off HBO and start finishing your book series, dude. You don't want to be like Frank Herbert and, what happened to him. He never finished, right? Here's one I've not finished the series. I read the first one. It's Spin. I forgot the author's name. Robert Charles Wilson. Really cool sci-fi. I think something like what happens in this: the Earth gets enveloped in some kind of a disk that puts us like in a different relativistic frame than the rest of the universe. So everything goes really fast outside of us, and we go really slow. It's really cool sci-fi. It's a continuing series. I only read the first book. Ralph Waldo Emerson, his essays, beautiful. Everybody should read that. Every American should read that. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I was on a James Fenimore Cooper kick, reading all the Deerslayer stories back in the day. This is the Prairie. They're all really good. I think this is the one that has the nice description of, it's not a nice description, it's a harrowing description of them killing the passenger pigeons in mass. Always good stuff. Very, very environmentally conscious mind, very, interested in Native Americans back then when that wasn't a thing. And really good writer. I love James Fenimore Cooper. Here's another one, The Deer Slayer by James Fenimore Cooper. That's a little more famous book by him. They're out of order. Oh man, Treasure Island, Robert Louis Stevenson. This is a must-read here. If you haven't read this book, put down the modern crap. Get back to the good stuff. This is some fun stuff right here. Here's some other fun stuff, a little bit laborious. The Modern Library's Le Morte d'Arthur. I think I'm saying it right. This is the Arthurian Legend by Mallory. He wrote it while he was in prison during, I think it was the War of the Roses. And I always thought he was in there for war crimes. He was actually in there for rape. But this is great. And if you like the movie Excalibur and you've never read Arthurian Legend, here you go. Probably Once and Future King's better story, but this is it's not the original. It was based on a bunch of poetic cycles he remembered, but this is one of the older versions, and it's great. So, absolutely recommend it. Oh, here's a cool one. Here we go. This is a compilation of three things. It's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and Robert Louis Stevenson's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I read that on the train coming down from Vermont to here. I think I read all three of them on the train ride. Great horror stories. People think Stephen King's the best guy going. Those guys all blew him away, in my opinion. Here's another Game of Thrones story. Feast of Crows. I'd argue that this is the weakest book in the series. You could tell he wanted to mix it in with something else and didn't come out right. We've got good old G.R. Martin again, Dance of Dragons. I got a nice hardbound one of this. I think I was waiting so many years, I just splurged. Got a nice hardbound. This was a companion from Mallory that went with the Le Morte d'Arthur I read. And I read some of it. I actually didn't read all of it. I really didn't need to read it. It was a lot of analyses. And, those guys tend to slow me down a lot. And I really just rather read and form my own opinion. I'm not a scholar of literature, but I read some of it as I was reading it. If I ever read it again, maybe I'll read it. Here's a classic everybody that loves mythology should have. This is Bullfinch's Mythology, which I read Ovid this year. It's on some other shelf. And this is sort of the Victorian the myths. It's got Greek, Roman. I think it has some Norse in here as well, a few others. And it's definitely the taste of it and the texture is suitable for more of a Victorian audience. I kind of like to read the Greeks and the Romans their own versions because there's a lot more things in there that are show their culture. There's a lot of homosexuality and there's a lot of the violence is severe in some sections, and a lot of that gets cut out. So that's one shelf. Behind that, I do have some textbooks. I don't think anybody wants to see chemistry texts or discrete math texts, things like that. So I'm going to abnegate the textbooks. Here's one other literary type book. Let's see what it is. John Steinbeck. His doesn't have it on here. The Acts of King Arthur and His Noble Knights. It's a great one. This is Steinbeck's. T.H. White's rendition of the story is the best, but this is a really good one too. A lot more fun to read than Le Morte d'Arthur. There's some other books back there. Let me get one more here. This is a good one. Like I said, I got mostly textbooks back on the back shelf. It's good to know where they are. That's kind of why I'm doing this. One of my favorite books ever. You can say I got a nice gold version here, Moby Dick. Anybody that says they've read Moby Dick but only read some sections of it in high school, they're missing out, kids. Read the whole freaking book. It's fantastic. Herman Melville. And if I ever get back to the reviewing books, I'm definitely going to talk about this one. I'm running out of time here on my phone, so we'll go over some more books next time. Everybody, hope you enjoyed this really quick, going through one of the portions of one of my shelves. We'll do some more tomorrow or the next day if you like this. Thank you. Wild Man Z out.